Thieves and con men should never be considered the good guys in a story, but George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, and the rest of their team charismatically took their roles of thieving to levels reserved only for the highest of men. Or the lowest of men, depending on how you see them. I mean, they're still thieves after all. In this video, we'll be looking at 3 major social anxiety-provoking scenes from Ocean's 11. Scene number 1, the poker scene.
Mr. Ocean, what do you do for a living, if you don't mind me asking?
Why would I mind you asking? 2 cards. I just got out of prison.
Really?
Well, why were you in prison? I stole things. You stole things? Like, jewels?
Incan matrimonial head masks.
In this scene, we see Danny Ocean playing cards with a bunch of Hollywood celebrities. He was never technically invited to play, but he just seemed to have jumped in while Brad Pitt was away. Remember, Brad Pitt's role here is that he teaches celebrities how to play poker. That's his job. So when Pitt returned from taking a break, he saw Ocean sitting and playing with his A-list customers. Did you notice that Clooney was being asked about what he did for a living? He responded by telling everyone that he was just released from prison for stealing Incan matrimonial head masks. In our society, many of us see some celebrities as larger-than-life stars, hence why people get starstruck. It matters what these stars think about us, and we want to make good impressions on them. If Clooney had social anxiety disorder and recognized any one of these celebrities as larger-than-life, he would be setting himself up for a huge anxiety episode. The reason why is because of the fear of being judged, which is really the hallmark of social anxiety disorder. Being judged by others can be difficult enough to handle for some people as it is, but if we're being judged by someone we really admire, like our favorite celebrity, then social anxiety symptoms can easily kick in. And the fact that he just told them all that he is a thief who just served time, it creates a very poor impression for himself in front of all of these Hollywood celebs. His mind would be firing signals left and right that they all think poorly of him. This would lead to anxiety symptoms and eventually a very embarrassing poker game. Scene number 2, the van scene.
Thank you for your time, Mr.
Denham. Billy Tim Denham.
Yes, Denham like a jean.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Just like the G.
Man, you got some lovely hands here. Do you moisturize?
I'm sorry?
I tried all sorts of brand of lotion. I even went fragrance-free for a whole year. Now, my sister, she uses aloe vera with a little sunscreen in it. Yes. And ideally speaking, we all should wear gloves to go to bed. But I found out that would be a little interference in my social agenda, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Plus, I get a reaction from the camphor. So I really don't get into the traditional remedies, you know.
I see, yeah. Let me tell you something. If you were willing to pay cash,
Yeah.
I might be able to drop that down to, say, $7.16 each.
No,
Yes, sir.
you do that.
Well, yes, sir.
Man, that'd be lovely. They told me to come see you.
Oh, did they? Well, I'm sure glad they did.
In this scene, we see Bernie Mac's character, Frank Catton, negotiating on a deal to buy vans. He's at the dealership using a creative negotiation tactic, which actually worked out perfectly for him. Now, if his character had social anxiety disorder, he could not negotiate, especially with the mastery and skill level that we just saw in this clip. Negotiating can create so much fear and doubt in someone with SAD that it could lead to extreme levels of humiliation and embarrassment. People would rather just avoid it altogether, even if it means paying a little bit more. An article written in Psychology Today by Dr. Alice Boyes states anxious people often don't negotiate, partly due to intolerance of uncertainty and partly due to wanting to avoid potential social disapproval. The more someone with anxiety avoids negotiating, the more anxiety-provoking it becomes over time. And it's that social disapproval that she mentions which can really lead to severe anxiety symptoms that SAD sufferers would rather just avoid. Scene number 3, the NGC scene.
Sheldon Willis, Nevada Gaming Commission. I'm afraid I need 2 minutes of your time.
Anything for the NGC?
Apparently he's got a record longer than mine. It's long.
If he is who you say he is. You've been at the commission long?
Yeah, about 18 months.
You know how Lindley over there work with him at all?
Not since he died last year.
There are a couple of things in this scene which we should really take note of. First and foremost, Matt Damon's character, Linus, is speaking to the casino owner, Terry Benedict, who is an authoritative figure. He is a very wealthy, intimidating, and powerful man as he runs 3 successful Las Vegas casinos. People who have authority and high power might normally cause stress and anxiety in everyday people anyway, but for social anxiety sufferers, it becomes so much worse. People with social anxiety see authority figures as having more value and being more deserving of power than them because they are less worthy by comparison. This leads them to believe that authority figures have the right to judge them and, even more so, become a threat to them. They are left with the idea that these people of power do not have their best interests at heart and thus cannot be trusted. As a result, people with social anxiety feel they must always seek the approval of authority figures and appeal to their liking. The other thing to notice here is that Matt Damon's character is lying. Lying can cause stress and anxiety in people who don't even have anxiety. So you can only imagine that lying when you do have anxiety can amplify your symptoms, like turning bright red and sweating profusely. Not to mention lying to the authority figure who is probably already suspicious of you anyway. Notice in the clip that Benedict is staring at and meticulously analyzing Matt Damon. He even asks him a test-like question about whether he knows a specific individual from the NGC, the company Damon says he works for. So Matt Damon already realizes that Benedict is suspicious of him, and the thought of knowing that you're being carefully assessed, especially by a superior and vengeful Terry Benedict, is enough to make hellacious anxiety symptoms on SAD sufferers. So those were the 3 social anxiety provoking scenes from Ocean's 11. If you noticed any other scene in this movie, or if there are any other movies or shows that you'd like to see a social anxiety breakdown of, please leave a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this.